Is Flesh and Blood a TCG collector's heaven? Today I'm going to share with you my thoughts on what I think Flesh and Blood does well for collectors and what it could improve on in a couple places. If you haven't been able to tell yet, I have fun collecting Flesh and Blood, right? I mean, that is why I do Master Set Madness, of course, because I enjoy collecting it and I enjoy sharing that experience of collecting it with all of you. So that's what we're going to continue to do today. This is case number 7 of Master Set Madness Outsiders, and we're getting closer. We are getting closer to completing that master set. We have a little mini version of the list today up. We are missing one, that's right, one non-foil Majestic. It is the Orbitoclast, and it should be there on the right side of the screen. We're missing number 8. Number 8. So we're gonna see if we can do that today, finish the non-foil set. That'd be the first section that we finish here, and that would be really, really nice. Another thing, shakedown. We're okay with that. We are okay pulling shakedowns. It is not a bad Majestic, and yeah, you kind of match what's going on there. Another thing I'd like to collect a little bit more today is, like 50% of you are watching these videos and you're not hitting that subscribe button. You're not punching it. I talked last time, you gotta just put the gillet on, go down there, punch that little subscribe button, help the collection begin. Let's see if we can get that collection up to 1,000. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Just looking for a scrap. I'm looking for a scrap subscription. Oh man. But Flesh and Blood, it's fun. It is a really, really fun game to not just play, right? Not just play, but to collect. And I think Flesh and Blood does a few things really, really well that make it extra fun to collect. And starting right off the bat, which I think should be obvious if you've seen enough of these packs we open, or if you've opened one yourself, like the art, right? The art is amazing. If you don't like the art for a game, there you go, great example of the art. If you don't like the art, you're not going to want to collect it, right? At least I don't suggest you spend a whole lot of time collecting games, card games, TCGs. You just don't like the art. If it's not your style, right, of course it's not going to work for you. But if you like this kind of art style at all, if you like Magic style, different stuff like that, like this is good. This is really good. And I've said this before too, but it's not just, the really awesome high value cards have good art, but they all do. They all do. Like even down to the tokens, right? Look at this little token here. This is just like, there's a lot of stuff put into that. And they look good, and they look so good. And then when you get the foil version, it just pops. It pops. Even the non-foil versions, right? They're fun. Some people don't like foils. Look at that foil. I like foils. But if you don't like foils, I think even collecting like the non-foil versions, like they're good. They're good. And I think, and of course it's subjective, but I actually think that there's a higher quality of art here than in some other card games you could collect. Again, across that spectrum of from the common card to the token to the rare to the legendary. Now there's some games where you can tell there's just amazing quality on the high cards. Not Majestics. They don't have Majestics in other games, do they? Mythics and whatnot, or the super fancy art versions. They look good. This is, my point here is not to say other card games all look terrible, but I find that there's a lack of the spread of art value across. Now, does that mean that every single card here in Flesh and Blood is the perfect, best, amazing art that it could be? I don't know, maybe not, but I think overall it's really, really good. Really, really good for collecting. And when you're collecting, you want to look at what you're collecting. So if the art's not good, you're not going to want to look at it. Anyways, that's enough about art. If you're here, you know the art's good, right? And of course, just things that highlight that art are the way they do cold foils and marvels. They just take the art and they just make it pop. They make it rock, right? And so if you're doing any sort of like modern TCG, the cough pauses are still around, sorry for that. But for any modern TCG, at this point in days, you can't just do the old school. You got a regular version, and then there's a foil version, and that's about it. Right, you need to do something a little bit different. In Flesh and Blood, you have cold foils, which are great. I think they look amazing. And then you have Marvels, of course, which are just beyond beautiful, gorgeous. And you know, sometimes a Marvel really, it's just a full art card, and it's got, you know, a front and a back or something like that. But it's good. Like full art, I think it's a big thing. I know there are other games coming out soon, or maybe even shipping out. I don't know when they're coming out. They have some nice big full art. Is kind of like a big thing they push at Sorcery. Ooh, another shuriken. I'm not getting a lot. Oh, see, look at this. Now imagine the full art version of this. You play that down on your opponent. Yeesh, 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 yeesh. I don't know, but it looks cool, right? It's well done. It's well done. Just a rare, but very, very good looking. And they've done a thing, you know, so with Marvels, yeah, Marvels and cold foils, right? It's limited. So there's not everything has a Marvel, not everything has a cold foil, which makes them a little bit more special. There's not millions and millions of versions. Look at this, Scale Peeler. There is our foil Majestic. We got one pack left in this box. One pack left in this box, box one. And talking about cold foils being hard to get and hard to find, we still haven't seen one in this box. So I'm really hoping we get one here, or that means we have something amazing coming up next. And look at that. Look at that. Is that our first box with no cold foils? No cold foils. We did it. We got the 0 cold foil box. And I mean, Shakedown, what, maybe $9? Score Belching a couple. Scale Peeler might be a little bit. Oof, what a rough box. But that does mean for the collectors, right? When you do get that cold foil, you do get that Marvel, it's got a little bit more value, right? Because I didn't get one. I did not get one, at least not there. We will get one in this box. I bet. We're gonna get that Orbita class too, aren't we? We're gonna get it. And so, yeah, because these Marvels and cold foils, they're more rare, right? And they're not just flying all over the place. When you get one, they're valuable. They're valuable, not, you know, especially not a common one, not in the monetary sense always, but they have value because they feel special. And if that's the whole point of collecting, is you want to collect things that are special, right? There's nothing exciting about, for me anyways, there's nothing exciting about collecting as many tokens as I can here, or collecting as many non-foil common pieces of equipment. I have no desire to do that, right? And so the Marvels and different things, they look great, they're hard to get, they have value. It's good, it's beautiful. And then for the really, really hardcore collector, of course, you can chase all the promo versions where you get like the super fancy gold foils that you have to win and different things. Those have a big price tag on it, right? And it's beyond what I can do. It's beyond what I can imagine, but I know there are people who are slinging those things around and picking up as many as they can. So if you really want to go down that route, they have that here in Flesh and Blood. They've got that range of collecting where you can keep it simple. You want to collect one little class of stuff, collect the non-foil versions of it, collect the rainbow foils, you know, down to the basics, all the way up to if you want to spend a K or more on every single card in your collection, you can go for it. You can swing for the fences if you want to, which here, we're not swinging for any fences. I mean, I guess we're trying to swing for the fences, but we have not hit any fence other than the fence of no go. You will not pass go. You will not collect $200. You will not improve your collection. You're just going to get scale peelers, and you're going to be humbled. And there it is. There's our cold foil. This time, our threadbare tunic is not crimped. So we have a non-crimped one now for the set, for the master set. That's good. Really rough though, really rough. I guess I had too much. They decided I got too many good cards in case 4, so you're done. You are done. Man, I was hoping we could see some things really fun for the collection. Brush off, that's what I'm talking about, that art. I've already showed you guys that before. That's a fun one. Another thing I like about collecting Flesh and Blood is the way that rotation works, right? So it's not like many other games where you have this little short season of time that you can play your cards, and then once that season of time is gone, they rotate out and they move into, you know, a different format, but generally they move into a format where most of the cards are no longer viable because they're frail. They're so frail. Codex of Frailty, that is our best hit of the day. That is a good one. A very, very good one. Love seeing that. I'd be happy with some more duplication on that one. And as long as it doesn't get banned, don't just calm down on bans. We don't need to ban anything after a weekend. We don't need to do that. Anyways, that card, you know, in theory, with the way that Flesh and Blood does rotation, like that card can just be in the constructed format forever, right? Like in theory, still can be there as long as it never gets banned. Like that can be out there for a long time, and for collectors, it's a nice thing to see, because even if you're not going to play the game, you don't want to collect things that just, you see their value just erode, right? Like one of the reasons why I didn't finish a Kamigawa set for Magic, like the art was great, it was super fun. I even did a couple boxes just to see it and look at it and, you know, ponder the idea of collecting a full set. And I thought, well, I don't really want to buy any of these cards because, I don't know, like as soon as they're not playable, they're all going to kind of just go psh. So why would I want to get too far in that? Here's our double cold foil box. Not the double cold foil you're looking for. I'm not sure if that's the face that's looking at me or that's what my face looks right now. A little bit like that. Oh man. Oh man, let's go. Where are the big hits? Where are all these cool things, right? I'm talking about it being cool for collecting, and all you're seeing is the sadness, the shifting perspectives of the collecting side. Oof. And once they get kind of like that living legend format where literally everything, because the only things right now that go out, right, is unless you get banned because you're super, super good and broken and you break the system, like the only things that leave are the character cards and their weapons that are attached with them, like their main kind of weapon. So basically everything else is still sitting there, and it will be sitting there for a long time. And then you add the living legend format where you get those old characters who have become so, so good. You get them back. Shakedown foil, that's a good one. Like once that's out and people can get their old Starvos out and prisms and fun stuff, like that really makes the collecting side feel better. Just knowing that, okay, I got my deck, I can play it, I can collect this character or things for this character, I can try and, like, it makes it feel long-term wise fun to collect that cold foil equipment for it, or the cold foil weapons, or the cold foil, like even just the character actual card itself. That's nice. I like it. I think it's good for collectors, and I think it's great for players. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. This is the last pack here on box number 2. Isolate. This opening though, this is not a good opening. You guys thought I had some sneaky stuff with case 4. I guess I did. I don't have it anymore. I don't know where it's gone. Here's my gut reaction right now. So we're halfway through. Based on the limited amount of boxes I've opened here, 7 cases, 6.5 cases, excuse me. This is scary because the only other cases that have had just 2 boxes to start with nothing continued to then have nothing throughout the rest of the case. So that's kind of scary. It is a little bit scary. That's a little bit of the variance, excitement, the coalition. I don't know what's going on in this set. It's really weird. It is really, really, really weird. Very, very weird. I'm given. I don't know who's taken. I don't know who's taken right now. Anyways, a couple other things I love about collecting Flesh and Blood. I love now that they've got all the different languages going on and printings for that. If I had like, man, if money meant no thing, it'd be really fun to do, you know, collect all the different languages and versions. And I don't know, for me, and I think there's a bunch of other collectors who they just love having like their favorite cards. They love having all the different languages of it. And I like languages. I'm not super great at them. But there's just, I don't know, there's something fun to me about like if I could have those quivers, right? We've been talking about quivers, but if I could get the Spanish quiver and the German quiver and the other quivers, like that would be cool. Like I would rather play with one in a different language. Just, it's fun. It's cool. It's fun to have and collect. And it just, again, it adds another layer where if you want to go down that route, you know, you can collect just a smaller subset of cards, but you collect all the different languages of them. You know, things like that. Anyways, I love that too. And of course, they're doing a good thing with the characters and classes. It's creating, you create a connection, right, with a class or with a character. And that's one of the fun things with, you know, Flesh and Blood as opposed to maybe say Magic. In Magic, you know, you can connect with like a color, or you connect with, let's say, you know, Commander, you connect with a tribe or something like that. Here, you know, but even when you're doing that, like if you're playing a rat deck, oh, there's our cool, oof. Oh. You know, when you like playing those rat decks in Magic or whatever, your character, you are not the rat. Right? You're not the rat. You are just the commander of the rats. Well, you're not even the commander. You are just you're the planeswalker, whatever, I guess, but kind of not really. You're the spell slinger, you're the mage. You're not a thing like on the board. You get attacked, but you don't have a thing. Here in Flesh and Blood, if you choose Ranger, you are the Ranger. That's what you are playing. You're not some outside of the game thing who's summoning stuff. You connect, you like to be the Ranger. You like to play Ranger, or you like to play Ninja, or you like to play a specific Ninja or a specific Ranger. Because why would you want to play anything else? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I do love this set, other than I don't like getting smashed by the variance train, but it does look like, I mean, we've got another box and a half here, but that's a foil. We are well on the way to having our third case with nothing in it. No legendaries, no majestic cold foils, no anything. That's scary. That's a little bit scary. Yeesh. Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh. Razor's Edge. So, those are the things. I like those things about collecting. I do think they could improve a couple things. So one of them being that characters and classes are fun. They're amazing. They're cool things that you can connect with, spreading the plague. And I think a lot of people do connect with them. But it would be nice to see that they expand a little bit on that. Right? I'd like to see that they have some more characters that aren't just kind of human characters. And I know there's Brute, and I still don't really know what a Brute is. But you look at the art in the different cards, and I mean, gore belching, or just look at a bunch of Guardian cards where they're fighting things that aren't humans, that clearly aren't humans. And so it's like, well, I don't know. Just give us some more, or just a broader spectrum of the type of character you could be. Like, for example, it's super fun seeing, dragon allies, and I'll just leave that one down there. Dragon allies, double cold foil box, but like, I'm getting all the commons. We got all the commons. We don't need them no more. Don't need them anymore. Like, yeah, it's just, it's fun to see the dragon allies or the angel ally, but sometimes you want to be that, right? You want to be the angel, or you want to be the dragon character or dragon-like character. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Amnesia. Old Amnesia sitting in here. You want to be, and again, it's a different world, and let's talk about this in the next one. I don't know everything about the world, but you just want to see some different kind of, like, it's fun in other games when you give you a dwarf or an elf or whatever. Anyways, not saying it has to be dwarves or elves or anything like that, but just having different types of races in the game makes it a little more exciting to me. A little bit more exciting to me. Oh, we almost had one there. That's the end of box 3. What did I say? What did I say? This might just be it. This might be it. I have to change my whole opinion on collecting Flesh and Blood after this case. What in the world? What in the world's going on here? I don't know. Other thing for me is I would love to see the storyline developed more. And I know that, you know, they've had things where they do have a lot of the storyline in mind and in place, and they kind of know where they're going with stuff. But for me right now, like what you can read and get engaged with is not a ton. Like you can get the lore book and you can read little hero stories, but there's not. Let me maybe instead of just describing it that way, let me describe what I love. Like I loved way back in the day Magic. First thing in Magic I played was the original Ravnica, and you get the little fat pack there, bundle, whatever it was called back then, and you would get, you know, you get some packs, but you also get a book with it. And for me, that book, or those books, like that series there with Ravnica, Gilpac, Dissension, that was what caught me into the Magic world. Like that's what got me excited about all the different characters and all the different guilds that were going on in there. I couldn't think of the word guilds. I was so excited by it that I can't even remember the word for it. But that made it so that so I read the book, and then when I'd go and play the game, and you would see different characters, or you would see just different types of characters based on that, the story that was going with it, that really drew me in more into the Magic world. It made me more interested in it. It made playing more fun. It made me more just kind of like bought into it. And there's something specific about having that longer form written story. You know, and it could be filmed, of course, or different things like that. That longer form where you have more time to develop the characters, you have more time to get to know the characters, you have more time just to kind of care about the characters. But Saw Trap, like that to me is, it's not necessary. And there is story, things are happening, but just the more developed it is, the more power it has to captivate. And then I think too, the more you're captivated by it, the more fun it is to collect, right? The more you really get bought into a character, and you build more of those memories when you look at a card of, well, that's what happened in the story at that point, as opposed to just, well, I killed somebody with that character, which was also a good story too. Like I also think of like the Lord of the Rings card game way back, the Decipher one. Like for me, just of course, that's a huge IP and building into that story, but it made every time you played Legolas, or you started throwing down the cave troll or the Balrog or different things, it just, the story, it just gave everything more power. And I know there's definitely challenges, you know, it's not exactly, see, there he is. That is not human, at least as far as I know. Doesn't look like it, but he's got a sword, right? So he's a dude. Well, you know, maybe you could be that dude. Maybe you could be the Gore who belches. I don't know. Anyways, I know it costs, you know, that's a lot of money putting into production for things like, you know, big books, and it may not actually have any of the return that you hope for or would desire to get from it. Like, that's obviously a very, very, very well, what's the term? Well-used space. Hey. We got out of it. It is one we already have, but we got out of the desert. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is water in the well. Van Brandt's of Determination. Cold foil, that is our second cold foil. The first one we've opened on camera for you to see, but it is our second one. So we got a 5 cold foil case. Thank you for breaking that. It was getting really, really sketchy. We were gonna end with nothing. Whew. Still no rainbow foils or rainbow legendaries. They're supposed to be easier to get. They are supposed to be easier to get, and they have been, but wow. Weird case opening. Other things I'd like to see is I talked about at the beginning, you can't do a Marvel of everything, right? You just can't do it of everything. If you do it of everything, it doesn't mean anything at some point. It's too much. But I would love to see some more Marvels of some of like the iconic cards, or just more Marvels of legendaries. See, look at this. Look at this box. This is the box. The rest was terrible. Red back shroud. What would the Marvel look like? Like, imagine the full art, not extended art, anything. The full art. It covers the whole thing. That would be cool. Wouldn't that be really cool? Or you know which one I'm going to say, right? The quiver. The Marvel quiver. I've already said it probably in this video. It would be so cool. I'd love to see that. You know, E-Strike would be a great one. And honestly, they're probably going to do some more things like that. Since they did Command and Conquer, you know, who knows? They could even do some, like, I don't know, some wild set where there's like, I don't know, 25, 30, 40, 50 of them. Kind of like the Kaladesh Inventions for Magic. And they're super rare, but they're all old cards. I don't know, that'd be cool. It would be cool, it'd be fun to collect, and that would probably sell a lot of boxes. Codex of Inertia. Pearl, we got, what, 2 packs here? And final thing I think that I would like, and this is a very small thing. It's a very small thing, and again, all these things are subjective, so please tell me in the comments what you like about collecting Flesh and Blood, what you think I said was wrong, what you disagree with, things I've forgotten, you know, let me know in the comments. But last thing is, I kind of wish they'd change the numbering a little bit. I know obviously you're this far into the game, that's weird to do, but it's just like this, the ordering in the Collector Center, I feel like they went a little bit too far in the minutia of how they've separated, you know, for each class you have your Majestics, and you have your Rares, and you got your weapons, and then you have like every type of, well, it's an attack, and it's attack reaction, and then like they're all separated out in different ways. For me, it's like you have the class, and then you just go alphabetically. I don't know, that to me it seems very simple, and actually seems more enjoyable for collecting. But look at this. Last pack magic, a foil premeditate. Yes, gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those people just in the back. Isn't that, like, the detail on this? Isn't that great? That's why it's fun collecting. The last box had everything in it. It had everything in it. All of the good stuff in one box. Good thing we didn't stop on box 3, and I'm very glad to see that we did not have 3 cases with nothing in it. So awesome. Anyways, those are my thoughts on collecting so far. You let me know what you think. Make sure you come back. If you're this far and you didn't punch that subscribe button, just do it. Just punch it. Just punch it. It's right there. You got this. You can go ask your friend to punch it too. Anyways, you have a great day. We'll see you next time for case 8